Today we're working with a piece of meat that a lot of people don't think about unless you're on the West Coast, and that is a beautiful piece of tri-tip. A fun little history piece about tri-tip. This was made as steak by a butcher in California named Bob Schutz. Usually they will take tri-tip and make ground beef out of it, but one day he said, you know what? I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna cook it like a steak. And that's what we're gonna do today. Today we're gonna cook this on the Recteq RT1250. We're gonna smoke it at 225 degrees until we reach our internal temperature at about 127. Then we're gonna crank that temp up and we're gonna sear it off real nice. To prepare a tri-tip, as you can see here, we're gonna trim it up just a little bit. There's a lot of fat on this. This is a prime. Wind's blowing everything around. So I'm gonna trim a little bit of that fat off. We're gonna clean this meat up a little bit, just like you would a brisket. You just wanna trim it a little bit. You wanna make sure you have a nice sharp knife whenever you're trimming brisket or tri-tip or anything else. Messermeister is one of my favorites. They're sharp, they keep their sharpness, and hands down the best knives I've ever used. So I'm gonna show you something about a tri-tip with the grain. Is the grain on a tri-tip will run one direction on one side, and usually on the point, it'll run the opposite direction. All right, so now we're gonna get this thing prepped to go on the grill. I am actually gonna use a binder. So I'm using this black truffled steak sauce by Live Fire Republic. David Olson has made this sauce. He's made a hot sauce, and he's got another bourbon syrup glaze that he's got out too. And this is gonna make a killer binder because we're gonna use this again afterwards. So we're just gonna pour a little bit of this on here, put it in the meat. Same thing for the backside. Doesn't take a lot. And this is just gonna give us a nice binder for our rub to adhere to. Today I'm using the Texas Brew Barbecue Booyah Rub. This is a savory rub, salt, pepper, garlic. So we're gonna use this because it's gonna give us a nice bold flavor. Since we've been doing our prep, our Recteq's already got the temp. So we're already sitting at 225 degrees. So we're gonna put this directly on the grate right now, and we're gonna smoke it. Let's go. All right, so we have the tri-tip on the smoker. We're gonna let that thing get to about 125, 130, and then we're gonna sear it off. We're at about a 128. I'm good with that. I'm gonna take the steak sauce that we used as a binder earlier, put a little bit of that on there like that. I'm gonna wrap this guy back up while we bring our cooker up to 500 degrees to sear it off. All right, guys, we took the tri-tip off, we let it rest. We have the Recteq at 500 degrees, and now we're gonna sear it off. Look how beautiful that looks. Nice. It's gonna look even better now that we sear it. So we're gonna take it out of here. We're gonna go 60 seconds each side. It's been a minute on that side. Let's flip it. Another minute. It's got a nice sear on it. Now, remember earlier whenever I was talking about the grain, you can see here the grain's going this way, and it kind of turns a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna cut against the grain here. A lot of flavor. That's perfect. I'm good with that. Tri-tip. You gotta do it, man.